Hi, everybody. It's Leslie with Save Pebble Creek. I understand that there's been some questions regarding the voting process for our village side board, and I want to see if I can clear that up somewhat. I'm not an expert, but I'm trying to keep up with it for you all. So last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, maybe, you should have gotten an envelope, and this may be backwards, I'm not sure. But it says UPI, and UPI is University Properties. University Properties is our management company, and they oversee things that the HOA board does, among other things. But they make sure that the vote is run correctly according to bylaws and fairly. Okay, so when you open the letter, inside of it you will find when you open the envelope, you'll find a letter. That letter says notice of the annual meeting of the membership. And what it's saying is giving you notice that there will be an annual meeting. It's on January 25th, 7 p.m. And it is a virtual meeting, unfortunately. Now, what you need to understand is this is the annual meeting. So this is primarily for the voting process. What I understand, our existing president is keeping our meetings virtual. He's not ready to go to live meetings, which is somewhat unfortunate for many reasons. One, I think it does build relationships, helps you to get to know your board, and helps you to get to know your other neighbors if you can meet face to face. However, we are meeting through Zoom. Not everyone is able to get on Zoom because of technical issues or do not have the right equipment. However, this letter does tell you to go to www.zoom.us/download, and you can sign in there when it's time to go to the meeting. You do not have to sign in first at the website. Again, the HOA website, you do not have to sign in there first to go to this meeting because it is an annual meeting and it's open to everyone. The issue is that you need a camera and a microphone to participate. Again, it may seem a little unfair to you. It does to me. I think it's a security means to make sure that you are who you say you are. Oh, shit. Okay, sorry I had to stop there. Okay, so in this letter, it will also give you the meeting ID number and the passcode. You'll need these to access the meeting. I am not sure if you can go by just going to the website address that I just gave you. I think so. I think you go there and you sign in with your meeting ID and your passcode. If you are able to, on your phone, iPad, or computer, you can download the app, and that would make it super easy for you. You do not have to be at this meeting. This meeting has nothing to do with you voting. It's where the votes are being counted. Now, why, again, virtual meeting? So this is where I think people are getting confused. It says that nominations are taken from the floor or can be taken from the floor. There's no reason to do that. This would be if you want to nominate someone who has not gotten onto the ballot, and you could go in and say, hey, I want to nominate, whoever, Joe Johnson. Well, Joe Johnson would have to agree to it, and then people could vote. However, since it's not a live vote, it's somewhat irrelevant. So don't let all that, discussion of nominees will be taken from the floor. It's just to make sure that it is done fairly if someone does want to nominate someone, but it's not your vote. Your vote will count if you fill in your voting slip, this blue piece of paper, vote for no more than 5 people. And you're going to put it in, I'm sorry, I didn't bring one out here. In fact, I don't have one. I mailed mine in. There's a small blue envelope that's small. You'd have to fold this in half and put it in that small envelope. Make sure it's sealed, and then put it inside of this outer envelope, which is the one that you are going to mail it to the property manager, UPI. Very important. You do not have to fill out the side over here, but the side that asks for your signature and your printed name and the date, that must be filled out. That's how we make sure that you are a homeowner. Okay, so that's basically how you vote. So the questions were, why were the bios, for instance, why were the bios not sent with the ballot? The bios were something that was put together by some of the candidates that are very anxious to get on the board, and they've taken it upon themselves to try to tell you a little bit about themselves and what they would like to do to get on the board. This isn't always done, but I think this shows how highly motivated they are. They've asked me as Save Pebble Creek to help them get the word out and to help them distribute them by foot, which we have been doing. Why have they not been included with the ballot? The ballot and the voting process is a secret ballot. That's why it's sealed. And in order to run it fairly and neutrally, I guess I should say, is your property manager. The property manager has no right to influence the vote, and therefore these bios are not coming from the property management. They're coming from these individuals themselves. So although it seems nice, yeah, it would be nice if they introduced the candidates, but it's not logical when you take into account that this is supposed to be run fairly. So it's somewhat, think of it like any other political campaign. The candidates are actually coming out to let you know who they are on their own. So what we need is, and you'll read in here, it says we need to establish quorum. That's confusing to me too. I've never really heard that before. What quorum is we have to have a certain percentage of the people, homeowners, that are voting. They need, I think it's 30%, or it might be 30 something. I think it's 30%. We have 303 homes. So we need 90 or more people to vote at all in order for the vote to count. Okay? So this means if we only have 40 people, 40 homeowners turn in their votes, then the existing board will remain. There will be no vote. The vote will not count. So this is why it is important to vote. You have an opportunity to make a change here. And these bios that went out, hopefully you've gotten them. And if you haven't, you can contact me and I'll make sure that you do. In fact, maybe one of the candidates will actually bring it themselves and say hello. But it's important to send in the vote in order for it to count. If there is not quorum, which means this certain percentage of people turning in their votes, then the existing board will remain. And that is up to you. And so another bit of confusion might be that typically in a live meeting, you would be able to bring your ballots to that meeting. In a virtual meeting, you can't. There's no way to keep it secretive, no way to keep your ballot private. So seems like that could actually reduce the amount of people that are voting. If you're able to walk in on the live vote that night and drop in your ballot, in this case you cannot. So your ballot has to be there. Was this purposeful? I don't know. Keep in mind, if there's not enough ballots turned in, then the vote does not count and the existing board remains. So I think that is a negative to it being not live. And hopefully our future, if it changes, if our board changes, hopefully we'll go back to some sort of live meeting, at least for an annual meeting, where I think it's very important, because I think this is going to prohibit people from voting. Or at least give them an extra hurdle. So it is important to get the ballot, obviously, in the mail. But I do want you to know that the meeting is January 25th, 7 p.m. Basically, it's online. You do not have to be at that meeting, but we do need your vote to be at that meeting in order for it to count. So we need to make sure that you get it in the mail. get in the mail soon. So she needs to have it so that she can open it, that she meaning the property manager, so that she can open it at that meeting and have your vote count. Your vote will not be identified. No one will know who is who when that envelope is opened. That's why it is sealed. And that's what makes it a secret ballot. So I don't know if there's any questions left unanswered. I hope that this helps, and I hope that it helps you to understand maybe why some things have happened. We feel, in fact, you'll see on Jennifer Solano's bio, that the communication with the homeowners needs to be better. And that's one thing that she's looking to do. She'd like to improve the website and maybe open up some lines of communications on social media from the HOA. And I think that is really needed. I really do, because then maybe you could be asking questions directly to your board or communicating with your neighbors. But you may have gotten an email from a board member today. So, you know, that is actually coming from the individual using the business of the HOA's website. So I hope that they do end up changing and making that website so much more user-friendly. In the meantime, if you have questions, you can email me or Miss Sparkles at savepebblecreek@yahoo.com, and I will do my best to try to get you the answers. In the meantime, if you do need a ballot or this letter to help you understand everything, you can also email me. All right, and one more thing. If you do not have the letter from UPI, this letter, like I said, tells you the date and the time and how to get on Zoom. It also gives you the meeting ID and passcode. If you need that, let me know. You can email me again, savepebblecreek@yahoo.com, or ask me in these notes, and I will try to get this letter to you. I can deliver it to your home, or again, I can have maybe one of the candidates come out and take it out. So let us know if you do need that. So I hope this helps, and bear with us. It's only a few more days of us doing this. The mail has to be, gosh, I don't know. It probably have to be in the mail by Saturday. So let's get them on in there. And like I said, just bear with us. You'll probably hear from us a little bit more over the next few days, and then we won't bother you so much anymore. All right. Thanks, you guys.